Canada may soon ban travelers from 10 Asian countries. Is it about safety, politics, or something deeper? Let's break down the real reasons behind these possible restrictions and which countries could be affected. Number 10. Bhutan. Tucked away in the Himalayan mountains, Bhutan is a country known for peace, nature, and gross national happiness. So why would Canada be rethinking its travel policies toward such a calm nation? The answer lies in Bhutan's unique approach to the world. It's an isolated country by choice. There's no Canadian embassy there, and formal ties are minimal. This creates a communication gap, which becomes a big issue when safety and policy coordination are needed. Also, Bhutan has a very exclusive tourism system. Visitors must pay high fees just to enter. While this helps protect its culture and environment, critics say it lacks transparency and makes international cooperation harder. Canada prefers countries that maintain strong diplomatic connections and follow open standards. Bhutan's low-key, inward-looking model doesn't make the cut. That doesn't mean Bhutan did something wrong, but in today's global climate, even peaceful countries aren't immune to new scrutiny. Number 9. Myanmar. Myanmar is going through one of the most difficult periods in its modern history. After the military took control in 2021, the nation's democracy collapsed. Civil unrest, violent crackdowns, and refugee crises have followed. Canada, known for standing up for human rights, has been vocal about the situation. It's suspended aid, imposed sanctions, and taken diplomatic steps to express its disapproval. But there's more happening behind the scenes. Immigration policies are also being reviewed. As Myanmar's internal conflict continues, Canada may decide that travel restrictions are necessary, not only to protect Canadians, but to take a firm stand on human rights. Myanmar's tragedy with the Rohingya people, where thousands fled brutal persecution, has especially drawn global attention. Canada has helped many refugees, but this humanitarian effort is now under pressure as resources tighten. A travel ban could be Canada's way of drawing the line. Number 8. Pakistan. Pakistan's place on Canada's radar has more to do with complexity than conflict. The country has long dealt with terrorism threats, political instability, and document verification issues. All of these have made Canada uneasy. One major issue is the visa process. Canada has reported delays, missing paperwork, and trouble confirming information from Pakistani applicants. With immigration systems already stretched, Canada may prefer stronger controls over continued confusion. Diplomatic relations aren't smooth either. While people-to-people connections remain strong, political and intelligence tensions pop up frequently. Claims of espionage, cyber attacks, or unexplained arrests often damage trust. So even if Canada isn't trying to send a harsh message, a ban, or at least stricter vetting, could come as a practical solution to a complicated challenge. It's not about history, it's about safety and certainty in today's world. Number 7. Vietnam. Vietnam has become an economic powerhouse in Southeast Asia. But not all the headlines are good. Behind its growth, Canada sees emerging threats in cybersecurity, digital theft, and political censorship. There's been an uptick in cyber activity tied to Vietnamese networks, and that's a red flag for Canadian security agencies. These aren't just minor hacks, they involve sensitive data and national infrastructure. At the same time, trade disputes are on the rise. Canada believes that some of Vietnam's practices around exports and intellectual property may not follow fair standards. And when trust in trade drops, immigration often becomes the next area to tighten. Vietnam's human rights record is also under question. Canada has noticed a lack of press freedom, crackdowns on protests, and government control of speech. For a country that values free expression, these clashes can no longer be ignored. If quiet warnings don't work, policy changes might. Number 6. Indonesia. Indonesia, a tropical paradise for many tourists, might seem like an odd choice for Canadian concern. But beneath the postcard views lies a complex mix of risks, natural, political, and health-related. Earthquakes, floods, and volcanic activity are frequent, and that puts tourists in danger. Canada is responsible for the safety of its citizens abroad, so it must weigh whether travel to Indonesia is worth the risk. Past terrorist attacks, though less common today, still influence how countries like Canada plan their security strategies. Even if the current threat is low, the possibility of a sudden incident can't be ruled out. Public health is another concern. Outbreaks of diseases like dengue fever, combined with questions about pandemic readiness, have raised alarms. Canada's cautious approach to global health could lead to new screening or even travel limits. Indonesia may not be facing punishment. It may simply be viewed as a risk that's growing too large to ignore. Number 5. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a nation of energy and resilience, but it's also under intense strain. The country's population density is among the highest in the world. Infrastructure, housing, and border control are stretched thin, and Canada is watching. Migration from Bangladesh has been increasing, but Canada's immigration system is already dealing with delays and overload. This isn't about stopping migration entirely. It's about controlling the flow to keep things manageable. The country's labor practices have also raised red flags. Bangladesh is a global hub for garment manufacturing, but factory conditions have drawn serious criticism. Unsafe buildings and unfair labor practices are widely reported. Canada, which promotes ethical sourcing and human rights, may see a travel restriction as a way to pressure reform. It's not just about trade, it's about sending a message. Lastly, climate change adds another layer of concern. With rising sea levels and frequent flooding, Bangladesh faces a future of environmental crisis. Canada is preparing for a possible surge in asylum requests. To stay ahead, it may choose to limit travel now before it becomes a reactive scramble. Number 4. Philippines. Canada and the Philippines have long enjoyed warm ties. There's a large Filipino community in Canada, and the countries have strong cultural and labor connections, but recent developments are testing that friendship. Controversies over governance and human rights have put pressure on Canada to reassess its approach. Reports of extrajudicial killings, political suppression, and abuses of power have gained international attention. One specific issue is the Overseas Filipino Worker, or OFW system. Many Filipinos come to Canada as caregivers, nurses, and temporary workers. While the system helps both countries economically, rising reports of exploitation and unclear legal protections are causing concern. Canada wants to be sure that migrants are treated fairly and that it isn't enabling abuse. Without clear reforms, policies may turn restrictive. This isn't about ending a partnership. It's about asking, can a close relationship continue if it means ignoring major problems? Number 3. Iran. Canada and Iran have had a difficult relationship for years. Official diplomatic ties were cut in 2012. Since then, contact has been limited and suspicion has grown. Recent years have only added to the tension. Canadian intelligence agencies have warned of foreign interference linked to Iran. Whether it's targeting political figures or spreading influence through religious and cultural institutions, Canada is worried. Sanctions are already in place, but now the conversation is shifting to travel. Iranian citizens, especially students and professionals, are experiencing longer security checks. And it's not just about paperwork, it's about trust. Human rights violations continue to fuel the fire. Protests have been crushed, women's rights restricted, and dissent silenced. Canada, under pressure from its public, may feel the need to go further. A ban wouldn't be about politics, it would be a moral stance. Number 2. India. India and Canada once shared a rising partnership. Trade, education, and migration tied them closely together. But recent diplomatic battles have changed everything. Canada made bold claims that India interfered in its domestic affairs, including allegations involving violence and surveillance. India strongly denied these charges, and the dispute quickly escalated. Visa processing slowed down, diplomats were recalled, and trust broke apart. Behind the scenes, Canada started quietly rethinking travel and immigration policies linked to India. This is significant because India is the top source of international students in Canada. Skilled workers, tech professionals, and families come in large numbers. A travel ban would disrupt lives on both sides, but Canada is now placing national security above convenience. It's a tough choice, but officials are signaling that even large partners must follow the rules. Number 1. China. Topping the list is China, Canada's most complex and tense relationship in Asia. Over the last few years, the cracks have widened dramatically. From the arrest of Huawei's CFO to serious concerns about election interference, Canada's trust in China has dropped sharply. Intelligence agencies are now on high alert for any form of foreign influence. Canada is restricting research ties, slowing down student visa approvals, and reviewing who's entering the country and why. Cybersecurity threats and surveillance fears are rising fast. Human rights are also front and center. China's treatment of ethnic minorities, the crackdown in Hong Kong, and limits on free speech all go against Canada's core values. A travel ban here would be massive. It would show that even the world's biggest economies must follow international standards or face the consequences. Canada's possible travel bans raise big questions. Are they about safety or something more? Like, subscribe and tap the next video for more insights. Stay informed and stay safe.